Sometimes, the most powerful tools are also the most unassuming. Enter the MSR Whisperlite, a humble little stove that's been around since the 1980s and has since become a campfire companion to explorers and backcountry cooks around the world. I've mainly used the MSR Whisperlite while guiding large parties on 10-day excursions through the Boundary Waters Canoe Area in northern Minnesota and parts of the Quetico in southern Ontario. For a group of 9, I find that using 2 of these units together is really the way to go, particularly if you're preparing big one-pot meals or grilling wild meats, such as freshly caught fish. Hi, I'm Joshua Johnson, and this is a review of the MSR Whisperlite white gas stove. The MSR Whisperlite is compact, relatively lightweight, and durable. It's a kind of kit that becomes familiar and comfortable after just a few outings. The stove runs on liquid fuel, generally either white gas or unleaded, so you don't have to go hunting for specialty canisters while in the backcountry. In fact, virtually any small town gasoline pump will be able to provide you with the fuel that you need to keep your stove burning bright. Liquid fuel stoves are dependable when the wind roars and comforting when the cold bites. In cold conditions, canister stoves can struggle, but white gas stoves are purpose-built for such temperatures. To operate, you simply thread on the fuel pump, pressurize the tank, unfold the legs, connect the fuel line, prime the stove, and get cooking. The Whisperlite folds away smaller than a number of other white gas stove options, and thus will fit inside a larger variety of cook pots. Over time, I've found MSR's shaker jet technology, which is basically just a small integrated brass unclogging needle, to be effective and dependable at cleaning jet blockages. I also really like that the pumps and stoves are entirely field serviceable. Now with all that said, here's a few caveats. The main issue I have with the stove is that, over time and usage, the legs tend to get a bit bent out of shape and start to fail to remain in their seated positions around the circumference of the burner assembly. Basically, they start to get a bit janky. This results in an increased risk of the pot tipping over, which is bad. This was enough of an issue for the very large guiding organization I worked for that they required their fleet of several hundred MSR Whisperlites to be used with campfire grills. This leg issue has been rectified in newer versions of the classic Whisperlite, including the Whisperlite International and Whisperlite Universal, which have wider pot legs and can accommodate larger diameter pots. However, if you're wanting a white gas stove and you're more budget conscious, I'd say the classic version of the Whisperlite is your better bet. If you've got wilderness cooking stories or stove tips, leave them in the comments below. And also, make sure to check out my other stove videos seen right here. Thanks.